Alright, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to transfer your servers from one region onto another one. And as you can see, I've successfully already done it, but I figured I'd log the process on how to do it in case anyone else is interested. So for example, if I go to my website here, everything is fully working and up and running. So basically what I did is I turned off my server first, so instant state, and I stopped it. That way the server's offline and any changes happening to the server has been stopped. And then I right clicked this option and I created a new image, gave it a little name, my image, and I set my volume type to the cheapest one, which is magnetic. By default, it does offer you SSD. At this time, SSDs cost twice as much as magnetic. My server isn't that intensive, so I just created a magnetic one. There is an option to modify the size. However, I'm using a lot of gigabytes already, so I don't know what will happen. It does let you just specify 5 and create an image based off that. I don't know how that will work. If someone knows, please let me know in the comments below, but I just kept it to 128 as I'm using the majority of the space. That will go ahead and create an AMI. Now this process does take a while, between 10 to 20 minutes, depends on how lucky you are. Once that's done, it will say that its status is available and you can go ahead and start using it. Now, when you get to this stage, you want to right click and you want to click copy AMI. And here you can specify the destination region. Now, at the time of recording this video, the US region was the cheapest. So I went ahead and transferred mine to North Virginia. A good website to check is EC2 instances.info. And I just say I want 4 gigabytes of RAM. And I check my on-demand costs. So over in Ireland, it would cost me 33 monthly. If I change to Sydney, it will cost me 38. And if I change to, for example, Oregon, that will cost me 30. So you can get a good idea of where the cheapest region is. And once you've decided on that region, you just select copy AMI and it will start copying that AMI over to the region you're transferring to. To switch over, you click on the second tab from the right and you specify the new region. So for example, North Virginia. Now, one thing to check is if you go inside reserved instances and purchase reserved instances, it's always worth double checking the cost of the instances. So for example, if I want a standard 36 month, the cheapest one I can get is 0.16 cents an hour. However, you can get cheaper ones if you're lucky. For example, a T2, which is actually more expensive than a T3. It's the older generation. A third-party seller is actually selling it for cheaper than you would get a T3. So this region is double good because you can purchase from third-party sellers, and third-party sellers, they're pretty much exactly the same as AWS. It's just guys who are closing down their projects. They can sell their EC2s back to AWS to resell it to other people. So you don't get a full 36-month package, you get a slightly reduced 32-month package, but this is altogether a better deal. So shop around, check what you can get and find a good place for you. And of course, make sure the server you're relocating to is in a good location in the world. I use a service called Cloudflare, which helps mitigate this a little bit, but I'll leave that to your discretion. Now, next, I want to go into AMIs, and I need to wait until the AMI has fully copied. So once it's set to available, it'll be ready. This process for me took about 10-20 minutes. Once that's available, you just right click it as normal, hit launch, and go ahead and launch your service. So I want a T2 because I want to get that third party tier. I want to configure the details. Pretty much that's basic stuff. The same way, you make sure your volume type is the same, add tags, configure your security protocols, and you can go ahead and launch your service. Now, once your service is launched, don't forget to create an elastic IP and associate the address with the new server, so that way every single restart of the server you'll keep the same IP address, and you can see the IP address right there. So there you can see the IP address goes straight to my site, and all I do is just make sure that I update my DNS settings to point to the new server, and that's it. The server's just straight up works exactly the same as it was in the other region. Of course, everything is application specific, but as you can see here, I've got a nice T2 medium and it's working as planned. So I'm going to go ahead and do with you guys here, since we're doing something live and this seems to be working, I'm going to go ahead and purchase that nicely offered price because it was a really good deal. Obviously, I recommend doing a bit more due diligence, testing out the region to make sure it's good. But for me, I'm just going to nab this while it's still available. It's currently 82 left. I've got one in the cart. It's going to cost me $300, which is almost half price, so I can get it in Ireland. Ireland is $525. Sydney's $585. So for me, this is a nice deal. I'm going to get one third party. Go ahead. I'm going to hit purchase. You've successfully purchased. Thanks for your order. They'll process your request. And just to make sure, I've ordered a T2 medium, and the region is this one. And I've got one count, and it started today. And I've got 31.6 months left to do it. And by default, as soon as you've reserved that unit, it should automatically apply to the matching instance type that's currently running. There you go. Hope you found that useful. And if you have any suggestions for me to learn about this detailed EC2 money saving scheme, please let me know. Something I will add though, once you have transferred the servers, make sure you go back to your original server, and when you are ready, when you're sure everything is working fine, go into instances and terminate the instances. So instance state terminate, and that will clear out its data, clear everything out. And you can double check by going to volumes here and removing these volumes. So you can force detach, and you can actually force detach volume and then delete the volume, force detach volume, then delete the volume. By default, when you terminate an instant, the volumes are linked, but it's good to clear out all this extra cruft. Delete this one since I don't need it anymore. So that way you're saving. All right, hope you found that useful. And good luck saving money on EC2. For me, whoa, had some big bills. Some big bills. Look at my billing went from £30 to $125. So I had to just concatenate my servers and take a chill pill on my startup life.